What's up, guys? Readiness Rations back here with you again, and today we're going to be taking a look at a case of meals ready to eat packed by Sopakco. Sopakco packs a lot of commercially available MREs for emergency and disaster situations. Most of those rations come in a box with green text. This box has black text, and it's my understanding that the black text boxes were actually issued under contract by FEMA. So I'm not exactly sure what's in this case. Before we take it over to the desk to open it up, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like seeing ration reviews on YouTube, both military and commercial, and to subscribe to the channel to catch all my future videos. Now let's take this case on over to the desk for a better look. So here is our case of Sopakco Emergency Ration Meals. Interestingly, it has a message down here on the bottom, issue 2 meals per day. Having instructions of how many meals should be issued per day adds validity to the theory that these are rations packed for FEMA use, in my opinion. This case was packaged on the 294th day of 2018, which was October 21st. And they have an inspection date of October 2021. So we're just shy of a year past the inspection date at this point. I got a screaming deal in this case. I found it at a local gun show for an amazing $30. So no matter what is in here, I will be happy with the price that I paid. Let's open it up and see what's included. There's a little internal sleeve, and there are our rations. As I was suspecting, it looks like these are Sopakco Reduced Meal Individuals, which makes sense that FEMA will contract for these because these rations have always been FEMA approved to my knowledge, and Sopakco already pushes these out in huge numbers for the commercial market. Let's see how many are included. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's already how many is in a regular box of MREs. 13, 14, 15, 16 meals total. I think that's the most MREs I've ever ran into in a case. 16 long shelf life food rations for the low price of $30 is basically impossible to beat. So that was a screaming deal. There's more than one bag type included in this. They have the thicker standard style packaging that you will see on like a halal meal. And then they also have this very thin plastic packaging that Sopakco has been switching over to recently. As far as menu variation goes, it looks like there are 5 menus total. Cheese tortellini, there were 6 of those total, which is the most numerous ration in the case. Penne with vegetables, sausage crumbles, and spicy tomato sauce. There were 4 of those, the second most abundant ration in the case. And we have 2 each of the remaining 3 menus. Beef ravioli in meat and textured soy protein sauce. That sounds terrible. Spaghetti with meat and textured soy flour sauce. That sounds even worse. And 2 vegetable lasagnas. These are the only ones packaged in the standard reduced sodium meal individual packaging as far as I can tell. Since there are more cheese tortellini meals than anything else, I suppose that's what we're going to be reviewing today. So in that, we have the retort pouch for the main, RS, which is reduced sodium, cheese tortellini and tomato sauce. Packing date, the 262nd day of 2018. A pack of MRE crackers, an MRE spoon, 2 packages of strawberry jam coming in at 1 ounce apiece, a Papa's Perfect salt-free seasoning, a latex-free moist towelette, a flameless ration heater to heat the meal, and that's a new one for the reduced sodium meals as far as I know, a cinnamon bun packed by Sterling Foods. As far as our total calorie count on one of these meals go, the main entree provides 260, the cinnamon bun is coming in at 290, each pack of jam is 70, and the crackers are 180. That brings the meal total to 870 calories. If they're issuing 2 per day, that's 1,740 calories per day, which is certainly enough to sustain an individual. I'm pretty darn hungry, so let's get this plated up and dig in. There was no drink mix included in this particular meal, so I'm just going to be having water. I did take a glance at some of these other menus that are unopened though, and they are not all exactly the same. They have different side items, and they even have different accessory packages. In this spaghetti with meat sauce, the accessory pack actually contains a napkin and a coffee instant type 2. That is a big change from your standard reduced sodium Sopakco meal. And this one has a vanilla pound cake as opposed to a cinnamon bun. This one very clearly has some cinnamon chewing gum. As far as I can tell, these rations have a good bit of variation. I also saw one that had a squeeze tube of some sort in it, so that's either pudding or applesauce. In the past, the civilian-packed Sopakco low sodium meals all had the exact same items except for the main. This case has some decent variety though. So if you guys would like to see me review another couple of these rations in the future, let me know down in the comments. I will be happy to do that for you. As for this meal, let's get the flameless ration heater going. Got the main in there, add water to the fill line, get the entire heating pad wet, and they do include a little heater sleeve, so I will place that in the heater sleeve for some added insulation. In my experience, these cinnamon buns are always better heated, so hopefully we'll pick up some residual heat as well. While we're waiting on that, we will check out these crackers first. Very solid vacuum seal on those. They're looking very pale. There's some variation in how cooked MRE crackers will be. Sometimes they'll be a little bit more brown and toasty. Other times they'll be very pale and white, like these are. One of the two crackers was broke, but no big deal. They still smell pretty decent. It's been over a month since I've had an MRE cracker, so I'm actually looking forward to this. Perfectly crunchy and crisp, as fresh as it can be, very slightly salty, not really toasty or nutty, but a decent cracker nonetheless. And now we'll look at one of the two included strawberry jams. We'll just go ahead and put that straight on the cracker because I know that's how I'm gonna eat it. Well, it looks super fresh. The jam is nice and thick, has little bits of strawberry flakes in there, and it smells pretty tart. Yeah, man, that's perfect. Ultra sweet, a little bit tart, good strawberry flavor. Simple, but pretty hard to beat in my opinion. Quite the nice little ration snack. The FRH was a slow starter, but it does seem to be producing some heat now. I'm currently too hungry to give the cinnamon bun any more time for heating. It did get just very slightly warm. Hopefully that'll help out a little bit. Well, that thing has some heft to it. Do not eat on that. I'm not gonna eat that. Outside's a little slick. Picked up just a little heat right in the middle. Very dense, and it feels heavy for its size. Here's a look at the inside. Very thin cinnamon filling through the middle. Then you have these little cinnamony bits distributed all throughout the bread mix. Give that a taste. Very doughy. Had this been completely heated up, no doubt it would have been better. But as is, these are a pretty good snack. It's not super overly sweet, and the cinnamon is not overpowering either. It's very light. It's a super dense, semi-moist bun with just the slightest amount of filling. All in all, not too bad though. Strawberry and cinnamon are not a classic pairing, but since I do have another strawberry jam, I don't see any reason not to give it a shot. So on this half of the bun, we're gonna squirt on some of the strawberry jam. That will up the sweetness level and add a little fruity contrast to it, as well as a little bit of tartness, which shouldn't hurt. Looks fairly decent. Let's see how it tastes. Hey, that is better on every single level. It's more moist like this. It has achieved a new level of sweetness, making it more like a dessert than just like a breakfast item. The little bit of fruitiness is not an odd clash with the cinnamon. And I think that's because the cinnamon was very lightly flavored anyway. And the little bit of sour tang you get with the jam helps to balance things out. Not mad at myself for giving that a try. And just one final bite. The ration heater is heating fairly well at this point. Looks like on the pad itself, we're anywhere between 140 all the way up to about 180. I'm done waiting, so even though the FRH is still cranking, I'm ready to eat. The outside of our retort made it up to about 130. It's definitely still a little bit clumpy, not completely hot. No doubt it would have reached adequate heat levels had I left it longer. But there's our cheese tortellini and tomato sauce. The smell coming off of this is that very characteristic retort pouch tomato sauce smell. Every MRE that contains tomato sauce has the same kind of aroma. This sauce is a very bright orange, so there's a very pretty tortellini right there. Some of them are pretty broken up, while others are still decently whole. There are some visible herbs in this. I don't see anything in the way of plant matter except for the tomato sauce. And there's no kind of texture vegetable protein, meat crumbles, or anything like that either. Just the tortellinis. Let's cut one of these open to see what's on the inside of one. Very simple filling in there. They say it's cheese. Doesn't necessarily look like any cheese I've ever seen before. And let's go in for a bite. Yeah, the cheese filling is sort of a grainy, ricotta-like filling. The flavor on this is very bland. The pasta is mushy, and that doesn't mix that well with that sort of grainy, cheesy filling. The flavor of cheese is really not there at all. It's super light. And as far as the herbs and spices go, you can taste those. It's a little bit basil-y. The predominant flavor is certainly just the tomato sauce. A meal like this will fill your belly, and that is about it. It is no amazing flavor experience. It's a lot like a sad canned pasta product, and it is in dire need of some salt. We will utilize our Papa's Perfect seasoning mix on this. Even though the seasoning mix is salt-free, hopefully it will add some additional flavor. It's mostly dehydrated vegetables, onion, garlic, green bell pepper, carrots, tomato. It has some sugar in it, spices, and some dehydrated lemon peel. Put a healthy amount of that on there, the whole package really. And I'll go for that tortellini that has the most seasoning on it so we can get the biggest spice kick. It cuts that blandness a little bit, but this meal is still severely lacking in salt. Being a menu for FEMA, these are meant to be eaten by civilians. Civilians usually have access to other food products outside of rations. I just so happen to have some of this, the General's hot sauce. This particular one is Shock and Awe, which is a habanero-based sauce. Very cool, grenade-like bottle, made of 86% peppers. It's a veteran-owned company. This stuff is quite hot and pretty tasty, and I think this will do a good job of adding some flavor to my tortellini. Pretty powerful stuff, so I don't want to drown it. Put some good, nice drips. And so now we'll be tasting like a hot sauce if nothing else. Give that a little mix. And get a taste of our new spiced up version. Oh yeah, ooh, that's got some kick now. The added pepper flavor is really nice. And boy, that hot sauce is hot. Good stuff. This is so ridiculously mushy that it absolutely needs the crunch of a cracker. So we'll load up this piece of a cracker with our now spicy cheese tortellini that's making my nose run and try it out that way. Far more pleasant to eat. Whoo, it's hot. The entree itself is still really bland. That blandness is being overshadowed by my mouth being on fire. So that's a decent trade-off. One more big bite there. And that's been finished off. So what do I think of these Sopakco low sodium menus packed for FEMA? The entrees are as disappointing as always. Don't expect a delicious meal if you're buying these. The change up in the side items and extras is a huge bonus on these. It's really hard to beat 16 meals for the price these are coming in at. And even though it doesn't taste the best, you surely will not go hungry eating them. 2 of these a day is plenty of calories to keep you going. So if you see a case of Sopakco meals out in the wild with the black text, it might be worth it to go ahead and pull the trigger and bring it home. Because even though these were packaged in 2018 and have an inspection date of 2021, I suspect these meals will still be good at least 5 years, if not 10 years from now. For the record, the cheese tortellini though, not my favorite dish. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I truly appreciate each and every viewer out there. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, and to see more videos like this in the future, ration reviews, both military and civilian, to subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you thought about the video down in the comments. And if you want to see any of the other menus included in this case, let me know and I will try to push those videos out as soon as I can. Thanks again, and I will catch you in the next video. See you then. Peace.